frags just yet, but Shock finds Crew, and the Earthshatter comes in. It's massive! Paragon showing us it's his turf. White's now
and a pulse pop from Trev ends up getting the double kill there in the backline. Upgrade able to take off. Oh goodness, here comes the Blizzard! Gonna look to get the attack.
And then the sleep though, and the nade in, and they don't even need a single ult here to win it other than Shatter. And Kavat taking out Sosher there from a mile away.
The upgrade taking out Big Bro. That's the long one. Oh, but
Paragon with another Shatter! That's three
Shatters! In the background. This may be possible. It could be. It really could be the boom. Oh, still here.
Welcome to season 3. Welcome to season 3 of the Rose Cup. Season 3.
Welcome to season 3 of the Rose Cup.
Welcome to season 3.
Welcome to season 3 of the Rose Cup.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another amazing match at
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another evening here with the Rose Cup, Season 3, Week 2. We're here. It's going to be the Masters Division this time. Not exactly sure which conference. Let me actually check that. I'm pretty sure it's the Dime Conference. Could be the US Ellis. Doesn't really matter. We're going to have connection loss versus Nebula Corvus. I'm Man of Class, and I'm, of course, joined by the wonderful Mega Lad. How are you tonight?
I'm doing just fine. Ready to get into some hopefully good games, you know. Masters Division so far, from the little bit we've seen, has been interesting, I think would be the nice word for it.
Yeah, I mean, interesting is always one of those words you use in interesting ways. Both these teams having won their first match, doing pretty well. I see 4-0s. I think they're doing okay. So, could be a close one. But then again, it's only been 1 week. They haven't played against each other. There's really not that much we can say about these teams as of yet with their performance. It's a new meta. It's a new system. It's just going to be over. And well, I mean, that's why we're here, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're here to see some great Overwatch, and like you're saying, just, you know, new meta. You know, potentially some teams already might be trying to learn the Sigma, even though he's not available till week 3. You have a bunch of different playstyles that have been brought up. The May Reaper composition, pretty much GOATS 2.0. And as well as if you have the mechanical skill, the snipers can come into play a lot, which is always interesting to see.
Yeah, and I mean, since Double Barrier isn't quite there yet with the Sigma, I'm especially expecting some snipers tonight. Could really be the last night that the snipers really get to do something, because from what I hear in the community, in the pro community and everywhere, there's going to be a lot of barriers soon. And I don't know if snipers are the best heroes to deal with that.
Well, yeah, it's Double Barrier is just, it's looking like it's just too powerful. But with the rise of Double Barrier, you'll have the rise of Symmetra, which it's all going to be a convoluted kind of domino effect of a meta change we might have moving in with the availability of Sigma.
Yeah,
but Sigma's not here right now.
Yeah, exactly. But there's going to be so many changes that all we can really do is just enjoy the ride. And like, especially as casters, we get to just do that. We get to sit here, enjoy the ride, and have the players suffer. All we do is just enjoy ourselves.
Exactly. We get to just watch the follies or the triumphs of teams as they test out. Because, you know, it's on them, really, to test out this new meta, test the waters, find new compositions. While, like, May Reaper has been dominant, I guess you could say, I don't think it's our meta yet. I don't think we've found a meta yet, and I think there's still more synergy to be found within the hero pool as it is.
Yeah, and it's always hard to speak of a true meta when we've only seen it for maybe like 1 or 2 weeks. It's not really been that far. Yes, we've had the stage of Overwatch League on it, but even the teams there haven't really shown consistency. So for me, it still with Sigma still coming, with some other like patch changes probably coming in at some point as well. There's not really a meta yet. It's going to take at least another month until we're probably there. For now, though, we're going to Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, Lijiang Tower, and real quick before we do get into the match, Twitch has been having some server-side issues, so if the stream drops out at any point, trust me, it will be back. We will resume. It's all on Twitch's end, it is not on our end, so please bear with us for that. And like you said, we are going into Lijiang Tower. On the side, Nebula Corvus, confuse me. We look like we might have the Symmetra TP'd right out of the spawn to start, and the D.Va instead of the Roadhog in this composition.
Yeah, the defense of the Rogue has been run a little bit more lately. It's definitely something that teams have been favoring once again. I mean, Roadhog, yes, you hit the hold hooks, but with Mate blocking all those hooks, why would you even run a Roadhog anymore? Just run a D.Va so you can eat even more things.
D.Va can eat things as well as just the D.Va's general utility. She can do, yeah, it's D.Va. She can fly around. She can be in the back line. She can be everywhere. It's D.Va's always meta. That's the rule.
They're going for the trap. This is the Symmetra strat we've even been seeing used in Overwatch leagues. They're really the one and only map where you can just do that with her. It's amazing to see. The wall comes out, the hook as well, but Melted Pixels getting out alive. A lot of healing and peeling from the team. Von Block gets the first pick on the Echo, and that opens up the fight a lot. It's not quite the first pick you wanted, but because of Melted Pixels going down, they do still have quite an interesting situation going on here. They do get the freeze on the Pandakai, but that Roadhog is so hard to burst down the wall to block their backs, but the Coalescence online, Anxiety gets 2, and it looks like this point, while it was flipped first, is gonna just get flipped to the other way.
Yeah, I mean, first control is always helpful for the side of Nebula, but connection loss was able to just muster out. I mean, it looks like stall attempts are still coming in here, which you always gotta try to get that extra percentage, always going. But the huge coalescence from UB Pro on the side of connection loss just kind of gave them the edge in that fight. And now, I don't really know what the plan is. Now that you've lost control of the point, do you stay on the Symmetra? Are you going to get as much value? It's going to be interesting to see what Nebula wants to do here.
Alright, they're close to the wall, and they're just going to try and run in that wall to get a lot of shielding. But Imp going so low, the peeling is there. The D.Va definitely working out already in that regard. And Melted Pixels falls first. That's not good. You wanted that wall, and now Melted Pixels is going to come back in for another one. Sin close to the Blizzard will also fall. All these ultimates, I seem to just be jinxing them. I think this is going to be another fight going to the way. Well, yeah, I don't stagger them. They're just going to the spawn. This is brutal. Imp not getting out alive of that one.
Yeah, unfortunately, as you were saying, brutal staggers. But you got 2 ultimates out if you're Nebula, so that's something to look at. Interestingly enough, Melted Pixels maybe can get a little bit more usage out of the TP, you know. LOS of the Orisa Roadhog for the halt hook combos can be blocked if you can just TP right into them. Don't even give them the chance to come through that doorway. Since you are still running Melted Pixels on the Symmetra, there's still a lot of stuff you can do with the TP as they're trying now.
And they're getting some interesting TP locations out over here. Definitely getting some extra utility and mobility for the approach. And the ultimates are going to be online for everyone. It's going to be Ultimate Fiesta. The first Coalescence already out. The Blizzard coming out from the attacking team here, really. But both teams coming out the Blizzard. The wall is there, so no follow-up on the Blizzard of connection lost. It's going to be Corvus is being pelted here. Melted Pixels already down. Pandakai does fall on the other side, though, so both teams losing a lot of damage there. And then Symmetra really helping out here, just sucking a lot of damage into it. It's 5,000 health on the shield. It's just a lot of health. Yes, Imp will get frozen up, and the follow-up is actually there. It's just an all-out brawl on the point. I don't really know who is where and who's winning. The shields are still online, but Sin gets the kill of the Ninja regardless. Melted Pixels now back on the Reaper, gonna be able to do a lot of close-range damage into this fight. It's already so close here. It does get taken out by UB Pro. Was frozen up. Pikachu in that mech still will be taken out. Right now, the Dragons are coming in here from the other side. And there's another Blizzard from Sin that charged up the second one for this fight because it took so long. And while there's some members frozen, just the Moira will not be able to clean that up on her own. This will be the first one going to connection lost.
Yeah, and just Melted Pixels, I mean, the Symmetra value is kind of there with that interesting TP towards the end, but once you lose control of the point there, it's really a lot harder to find value with Symmetra just because her turrets can deal a lot of damage, but only when you're in control of an objective, really, just because otherwise there's no way for you to push into the turret. You kind of have to throw the turrets in and hope the enemy doesn't shoot them, which really, I don't think that's how it's played anywhere, but hey.
Yeah, it was a decision, right? They decided to stick on the Symmetra because they thought they were going to get the wall, but then Melted Pixels died early in that fight that they should have gotten the wall in, so then they had to go with another fight, not using the Blizzard and the wall, and then yeah, it kind of deteriorated. They were just too far behind. Now they're going to be in a almost mirror competition. Once again, Pikachu is going to be on that D.Va. Pandakai on the Roadhog. That's the main difference here. So how many halt hooks are gonna land? Looks like the first one is already missed, and the fight's gonna ensue from there. Obviously, point positioning here for connection lost, but it's high ground positioning from the other side here from Nebula Corvus. So yeah, they're able to just walk up to them, start belting in some shotgun damage from melted pixels. Ninja definitely doing a good job of fending that one off, but they're just poking around a little bit. The walls are coming out, shields are down, and now Melted Pixels is in the backline though. Anxiety just gets pelted into the back of those shotguns. Yes, he does fall to Ninja, but taking out that Orisa is so huge. Both Coalescences already out here. UB Pro getting a little bit of the later ending there, and Ninja is still getting some kills here. Also took out Pikachu, but Pandakai has fallen, so no tank line here for the steady connection lost, and it looks like that's going to be problematic for them. Well, that being said, Ninja did a lot of damage, just takes down the tanks, takes out Saber. Yes, he's frozen up here, but are they going to be able to actually pull it back here? Connection Lost has got control of the point, and it does look like they're actually going to be winning this fight out in the end because they have the members. And that was such a clutch play from Ninja.
Ninja had the huge clutch play, as you just said. But really, it was just the whole defensive positioning from the side of Connection Lost there. Now you see they're pushing up, getting aggro as you can on the control center here on Li Zhang, just because you got the one door. There's really not a whole lot of other options for you. They do switch to the Ryan Zarya, interestingly, on the side of Nebula, hoping to try to get some aggro presence going.
Want to get through it. The wall does come out, but I think they missed it, kind of. Just the Death Nelson from Melted Pixels as well. But in Pikachu, they're all down. This is not going to be a fight that they're going to win, and they keep the beats in a very, very wise manner.
You traded 2 of your ults for 1 there, and still you have Connection Lost in this very favorable position, especially with your Halt Hook synergy looking so on point. On top of that, anytime it fails you, you can just have Nyquist on the Mei, wall off that door, and get a pick. So,
and they're in now, a few people walled up, but I think they can still get around the wall. Does his Pikachu and Imp already fallen, so it doesn't really matter if they can get past the wall or not. Melted Pixels running away from this, but will not be running away with his life.
Yeah, the one thing though for Connection Lost, they haven't been rotating their ult economy that effectively. They're dropping 2-3 ults almost every fight, which, I mean, it's still working for them. They're still in control, but that might be something that we can play into later on if you're the side of Nebula, as they're trying to rotate through this top door.
Yeah, they are getting inside now. They're a bit further than where the wall can reach them. As I say that though, the wall does come out. Imp and Bomb Block already down. Sin soon to follow. And with another Death Blossom Ninja, this is another attack they're going to have to give up. But they can't really give it up because the point is already at 97%. Will Saber even make him the Lucio? It doesn't look like it. And that's Connection Lost with a fairly convincing win there on Legion Tower. Just a 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0, you know, you had 100-0 on that second point there. Really just, they were able to get the defensive positioning, and from there were able to let it play with their aggression. And, I mean, aggressive Orisa, you don't see that a whole lot, so it's nice to see.
And aggressive Orisa, she can do a lot of damage, but usually you would think of her as more of a long-range hero. But imagine, it's projectiles, right? Like, whenever someone gets closer to me when I'm on Hanzo, it's easy for me to hit them because the projectile doesn't have to travel as far, so you don't have to predict as much where your target's gonna go. Same thing with Orisa. Her fire rate's not that bad, but you have to lead the projectile so much that the enemy can just dodge it, unless they're in your face. So I don't think they were that unhappy by having that Orisa in their face, or having the enemies in their face as Orisa. But I don't know. It was an interesting map. Do you think that Connection Lost is generally already like edging out Nebula Corvus in general, or was there some other things that gave them the edge?
I think it's just a matter of Connection Lost. They're using that aggression because we're noticing in this meta, aggression becomes key with a lot of things. And I don't know, like, the one thing I gotta say about Connection Lost is their ult economy was not that good. Like, sure, they still won the map because of how convincing and far forward they were. But at the end of the day, you can punish them for their ult economy on other maps going in. You know, Control's that map where maybe it's a little bit wild, maybe it's not the true indicator of how the series is going to go, just because it is a different game mode altogether from almost the rest of Overwatch.
It really is, and it's all because of that equal opportunity chance that you get everywhere else. Yes, and on every other map type, you get to attack and defend. On Control, you do the first fight, and after that, you're basically either attacking or defending. Yes, you can flip it, and then it goes the other way, but you never get the same time on attack and defense. And again, that's like the main thing about Control that yeah, that defines it. That's why it's so different. It's not necessarily that the objective is in the middle. It's that you don't get an equal opportunity to defend or attack it at all, ever. So going to King's Row next, that's not going to be the case. We're going to have 4 minutes at least for either team to attack. And could be very interesting. It could be very different from what we saw in Control there. Nebula Corvus could put up much more of a fight here. And it seems they might at least get a substitute in here.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have Melted Pixels subbed out for Diz. Now, obviously, Diz probably going to come in, play some DPS for the team, and I think the DPS pool, I think we're seeing maps also matter a lot more. It's no longer just pick whichever map you like King's Row, you pretty much, if you're not going to run a bunker composition on first with an Orisa of some kind, you're going to need some snipers, possibly even a Doomfist, just because you do have the long hallways that you can kind of chuck yourself down.
Yeah, and going to King's Row, we've all known and loved King's Row forever, and it's going to be really weird to not see Ryan Zarya run on King's Row anymore. I mean, we will potentially see it from one of the teams, but it's very rare that you see it from both teams anymore these days because of how strong Orisa is. So I don't know if we're gonna have to just live with that for now. But you know what? I'm also looking forward to potentially the teams surprising a little bit, going with that Ryan Zarya after all, because I mean, if there's one thing I'm very interested in, it's Russian folklore. So Zarya can always give that to me.
Yes, indeed, and I think Ryan Zarya might be the play here if you're Nebula Corvus, because as we saw in that round, those rounds of Li Jiang, Anxiety and Panda Kai, just the hold hooks, I think it was probably like 2 or 3 missed out of the 14 some odd attempted. I mean, that's pretty good trade-off, guaranteed picks you're getting. And Ryan Zarya, that can kind of stop it. Between bubbles and a giant shield, might be your play.
It might definitely be their play, and I think it's something they wanted to go for. You said it yourself. Aggression is kind of the name of the game nowadays. You have to get through that shield, and what gets better through a shield than a Ryan Zarya? I think that's what the whole goats thing was, right? You just rush at the enemy, and then you can still do that. You run the same support, just run a Lucio and a Moira, and then you can even run the same DPS. But if you're under the Ryan Zarya, you can get through them, stop the hooks from coming in, and then I mean, Roadhog and Orisa aren't as scary at like face range. Roadhog maybe is, but Orisa, I mean, she can kind of just get smacked around by Reinhardt. It's an interesting dynamic they have between the two of them.
Well, yeah, because Orisa's whole thing, if she can set up on a high ground or something like that, then she'll have an advantage over Reinhardt. But if it's a face-to-face value, Reinhardt can just walk through her shield. That's on a 9-second cooldown. If you can catch Orisa after her shield is placed and just aggress through her shield, then you have a huge advantage going in. But doesn't look like we're going to see Ryan Zarya just yet. Here for the defense for connection loss, we're going to see their attempt, or not their attempt, but rather they're going to stick to their guns with the Orisa Hog. They're going to throw a Hanzo in instead of Reaper.
Yeah, looking good. I mean, Hanzo has been more popular lately, you know, because he still does a little spam damage, but he also has a little bit more range. So the defensive spam very much going to work out in their favor if Ninja's able to hit the right hooks. Now we're going to see them do the old rotation through Hotel, getting behind him, actually taking the position that the defenders normally have. This is very intelligent, because normally they want to retreat into that archway, and now they cannot do so. Panakai does get a hook on the Pikachu, but Pikachu manages to get out with the life, and now they're actually pushing them away. They're pushing connection loss back, and this is exactly what they want to be doing. The Baptiste does throw down the Immortality field here, and Ninja does get a pick on the disc because the hook hit once again. But now it's just deteriorating. They had a very good position, but that one pick opened everything up. No more reason to be scared of a Reaper, and that's going to be a fight for connection loss.
And on the side of Nebula, because you're running that Diva over the Roadhog, you really lack any sort of shield break, so Anxiety's just going to have his shield up for so much longer, and it allows Ninja to get picks like he did in that fight, especially since he's on the Hanzo instead of the Reaper. He doesn't have to try to shoot through a shield, but they're going to try the rotation through the Alderworth Hotel once again.
That was a nice halt hook. They're really getting this max hideout so that the wall cannot block it. But there's a lot of good defense raiders coming in. The first kill on the Pandakai, that's the one you want. They do get the res out, I believe, because of the immortality field, but that's still a good position here for the side of Nebula's Corva. They are on the point. They're getting close to that first stick, but Ninja gets a kill on the Sin. Pikachu out of mech, and they're just, once again, they're looking so good, and all of a sudden they just get snapped back into position.
Ninja doesn't even care that he chucks out Dragon there, and all he gets for it is a mech, because he's already 44% to another one. Another arrow, you're already at 50. It's just insane. Now you're going to see on the side of Nebula Corvus, Diz is going to try to match this Hanzo for Hanzo, which could be the play if you can get a long distance pick before you're really even in there. Maybe that can open you up into a fight, because right now, like I was saying before, Pandakai and Anxiety, they just have too much synergy with these Halt Hook combos and just in general.
And we do see Ninja playing on this high ground though, so potentially an overextension could cost them their life. And that's going to be hard to res as well, because if the Mercy goes there and you rush on the rest of the team, there's a lot of healing gone, even though they have a Baptiste. Hook is already out though. The wall gives them a clear entrance here to go into the Alderworth Hotel, but they're going to go around the statue. So this is a straight up matchup, and they're throwing a supercharger. Diz hooked in, is already out, no longer on that Reaper, so you can raid away. But they get the hook on the Nyquist. Nyquist does have the ice block, but will not be able to get away from this that easily. But there's the immortality field. They do get the kill because it was locked out. Pandakai goes for the whole hog from the side, but does get hooked in as well. Nice Dragon coming out here from the side of Connection Lost, but Imp, you're so close to getting that fight. They use so many resources, and still they're able to just win it out in the end.
Yep, and Nyquist gets that stagger pick onto Saber, which means a full reset for the side of Nebula as we enter under a minute here. And Ninja just pretty much seems like he's chucking out the Dragon, not to deal damage, but to let Echo get these reses off, which is huge, and it's bringing them back in fights that they just shouldn't win. Just huge foresight play coming out from the Hanzo.
You love to have that res. Saber already down though, and that's not the one you wanted to lose. Sind another one falling. They need to reset really quickly to get another attempt here. Will Pikachu get hooked back in? They're going for it. I think they're going for the follow-up. They want to get them back in here, and the hook does fall. Pikachu, will barely be there before the recontest, but they don't have a Lucio, so they cannot really get there quickly. It's going to be a little bit of a stagger in the Pikachu, but the rest of the team will be there in time. They can probably touch.
Yeah, but the plus side is you're coming up with a Blizzard if you're CYND, and that's that's going to be your play, and then you can also trans in with Bomb Block, so as long as nobody gets picked.
They have the amplification matrix as well. Are they going to be able to res this kill onto Pandakai? Immortality Field doesn't save Diz because it gets taken down. Also, Saber falling. Yes, they have the Transcendence, but is the res now kind of come in? Yes, they're going for the res here onto Ninja. Ninja does get res, but Echo falls as a result because they were just too far in. Bomb Block going very low, not quite taken out. Neither is Sind, but there is the kill. Pikachu, though, is now on fire. It's taking out member after member. It's just Nyquist and Pandakai, but they can do a lot with that Roadhog and that May. Imp is frozen. This tries to get on the point. We'll get there in time together with Saber, but they need to get more kills. They need to get more damage out, and with that Blizzard, it's going to be so hard to do. They don't have anywhere to go, and not even a tick taken on first. Connection Lost looking very strong on that hold.
Very strong, and really that's just going to come down to Nyquist for the huge May play. Just staying alive, getting the Blizzard up, knowing that, hey, I know I'm a bit farther away from it, but if we can battle it out in this extended fight, that can get me the win. Plus, Pandakai just didn't die. You know, you had UB Pro on the Baptiste, allowed to throw Immortality Field. Just there was too much staying power there, and not enough focus fire from the side of Nebula to take it out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. It could be we could see another hole here coming out, but from what I saw though from Connection Lost, they're playing. Yes, they're playing aggressive, but they're really waiting for something to happen, and then they just snap it back. So they have more of that that calculated defensive play style where they react to what the other team is doing. They let them make the first move, and when they're now on the attack, that could work against them rather than for them. So I'm curious to see whether they can also prove it the other way around, where they have to move into the other team in order to capture an objective rather than have the enemy team move into them. That is the main concern I have for them right now.
Yeah, if they can, as you were just saying, if they can pull out some amazing defensive holds, but I mean, a lot of the defense from the side of Connection Loss was off the back of Ninja just tearing people apart on that Hanzo. Diz is going to have an equal, if not greater, performance to get this first point hold. It's doable, but you're looking down the barrel of 4 minutes against connection lost right now.
Yeah, that's why also why you see the Widowmaker fire come out straight away. They're going to go airborne. No snipers on the other side. Barely any hit scan. Although there's a lot of damage today on the Nyquist. It's probably a good Hanzo arrow or a May Icicle that hit that. And they get the kill on the Pharah. You wouldn't think that would happen, but it happens regardless because Diz can just hit those headshots with the Discord Orb on the Pharah as well. There's just nothing you can do about that. But try again, really. And they're going to wait for the Pharah, obviously.
Yeah, and Ninquist actually turns out switching over to the May, maybe for just longevity. You don't think the Pharah is going to work out. But Diz, so far, has been doing huge zoning with this Hanzo, and picks like that are good to see.
Yeah, the halt hooks are already trying to try it out, but that's a good wall from Sin, finally blocking another one. The shield from Imp is gone, and it will be a little bit before they get it back. The wall, though, actually helping them out rather than working against them for a little bit there. Pikachu gets hooked in, but the follow-up blocked up by the wall again. Immortality Field really saving Pikachu there. Pandakai does get the kill, though, but might actually follow themselves. No, it's going to be Nyquist and Pandakai is lining up the kill feed. This traces it back a little bit, so there could be something happening. I don't think the res is online anymore. Von Block also trading one back. It's only 33%. No, Echo gets the res of the Pandakai. Ninja is down though, so not a lot of range damage. They have to get in close and dirty for this one in order to get this point up. Imp with another shield gets hooked in, will also get taken down because of a nice focus fire attempt with connection lost here. Looks like they might actually get it on this push, especially with a nice blizzard. The Transcendence is there, but that's not going to save Diz, and they don't really have the members there. They just push them off the point with the whole hog, and that's going to be connection lost, going up 2-0 in the series.
The defensive hold just wasn't strong enough. Ninja just came in, huge pick potential, and Ninquist also earning up the blizzard to seal the fate there in the end. And so far, connection lost has a dominant hold on this series, and Nebula can bring it back, but a reverse sweep is what is required now.
Yeah, I don't really see them giving that lead up anymore. It's looking so strong for them right now that, yeah, I wouldn't say that a miracle has to happen, but they definitely need to find something to change in order to get this series back. It's looking very good for the side of connection lost. Before that, though, you know what? I'm thinking we're going to give them a little space. Going to leave a little bit of time, give them a little bit of an opportunity to properly just talk some strats before we just throw them into the next map. So we're going to go to a little bit of a break. We'll see you guys to the other side, and don't go anywhere. Maybe grab some snacks, obviously. Grab some drinks. I mean, it's a hot one for me, so I'm going to get some water. But see you on the other side, guys.
Get down. Get down. Get down. The bass and sound. 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 Down with the bass and sound.
has all, he has all, he has all!
What? Where's Whale?
I'm trying to
Oh, there he is. Whale's hacked. Attack!
Nice. Kill Zarya! Don't allow it.
Zarya!
It's just Zarya, boys! Welcome back, everyone. Other side of the break, 2-0 for Connection Lost. I'm still Man of Class. I'm still here with Mega Lad, and we're going to continue the series. Obviously, we've seen quite a dominant first half coming out from Connection Lost, but that doesn't mean everything. We know it's Overwatch. Comeback potentials everywhere. We're going to go to Hanamura, and anything can happen on Hanamura lately. We've seen a lot of crazy stuff happening there.
I myself have been able to bear witness to a 5-minute point A hold on Hanamura, so truly anything can happen. And just really quickly, just to get into this, the reason Connection Lost is it looks so dominant is just they're playing a pick composition to its full effect between the Hanzo getting picks from Ninja or the Halt Hook combination from Anxiety and Pandakai. I mean, it's really just phenomenal team synergy coming out from the side of Connection Lost that's getting them where they are right now.
Would you already say that Hanzo getting picks is team synergy? Isn't that just he throws arrows in the right direction?
I mean, you know, there might be a Discord, there might be a freeze, there might be a halt. You never know. But at least the halt hooks we can look at.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I would definitely say. But I mean, so we look at a lot of good team synergy coming out from Connection Lost, but on the other hand, though, I do see quite a few things that are happening that maybe shouldn't be happening that they're getting away with. So you could also potentially put some blame here on this Nebula Corvus. I'm not one to quickly blame people. I don't like to throw smack. You know, that's not how I am. But if I have to, I will. So I'm going to keep a close eye on you guys. But for now, though, looking at this defensive composition, are they just going to continue the same thing they're doing?
I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I feel like I've been saying that a lot lately, but the picks have just been phenomenal. Nyquist builds up the Blizzard and uses it in the most clutch plays, and UbiPro as well, just kind of silently coming in with huge immortality fields that are keeping his team alive when he needs them most.
We're going to see, once again, almost the mirror on the other side. They are running quite a different support lineup, and Pikachu is still on that D.Va. Definitely understandable, and it's going to be a strong, aggressive chokehold, really. They're putting his shield back already. They put their second shield down. Now the enemy knows that. Both shields are broken, but I think Imp will have to cool down back a little bit quicker. Alt Hook not getting anything. Yes, the wall is out, but I think they can just get past that. At least the Reaper and the Mei are pretty safe, and Nyquist and Synth both going down. Can that res come in? That's the main question now. I don't think it can. With Anxiety going down as well, that's a really good one. Can Echo get the res up this time on the Orisa? It doesn't look like it. They're going after the Mercy straight away. Pandakai and UbiPro the only ones left, and that's not going to be enough to hold that point off. Quick attack here coming out from Corvus.
Yeah, Nebula Corvus, this is what I've wanted to see from them and what I thought they've could have been doing, as long as they can avoid that first halt hook, the first pick potential, they just can play their aggressive game and hold W, and there's not a whole lot that Connection has shown that they can do to stop that when Nyquist doesn't have a Blizzard to stop them. So, interesting. Now they're going up the top right, obviously with the D.Va. That's a nice little advantage you can have, but...
And Nyquist ready with the wall. Oh, they missed the wall. That's a very good opportunity here for Nebula's Corvus. They immediately break the wall. Saber does fall to Nyquist's right clicks, but they can still get in there. They've done their part for the mobility. They don't need the Lucio anymore. Pandakai was frozen up, will not get taken out straight away, and it's close to the whole hog. It's actually going to be Diz falling first to Anxiety here. Pikachu out of the mech, and it looks like this attack is already over, besides the few members on the point.
Yeah, if I was Nebula there, I wouldn't have exactly stayed to greet my welcome, as we might see a brutal stagger onto Pikachu here. Just because, yeah, unfortunately, these are the times where you want to get to the map. Yep. Yeah. See, the halt's coming in. Poor little baby D.Va. Just wants to go home. But now you're looking down. Yeah, but if you're Connection lost here, you're going to be looking at 6 ultimates up online as Pikachu finally able to jump off that cliff, and we throw in a dragon.
Ooh.
And just feeling confident. I think things like that are what the Nebula Corvus needs to be able to punish, really. Just the over hubris and the overconfidence that is exerting from Connection Lost, and they do this.
Well, I mean, they do punish it, but the res is straight away there. Ninja back up online, but it does mean that we're missing the res for the ensuing fight. Ultimates are definitely there for both teams, so it could really be a close one. Nyquist not being able to throw the Blizzard and actually gets Diz somehow with that because it was very low already. Pandakai does get frozen up, and the Blizzard gets way more value, but they don't get the follow-up because the Immortality Field is there. Looking like the defense is going to be able to get away with another one. And it looked like they were making so many mistakes, they were doing so well, but somehow they just managed to pull it back.
Yeah, but if you're Nebula, you'll take that. You traded your Blizzard for a Blizzard, a whole hog, and a Valkyrie. Ninja already has that dragon back up online, though. It's just truly insane what Ninja's been able to do on this Hanzo so far. Even when you don't see him in the kill feed, he's just building that dragon constantly.
You know how it goes, you know how it be. Sometimes you just get some tree trunks thrown at your face and you just cannot get away from them. They're gonna go for the high ground approach once again. They use the wall to block off the potential wall from Nyquist. Very nicely done. But there's a dragon coming in straight through that high ground corridor. They are managing to dodge it, and there's a Death Blossom coming out. So Pandakai will be traded for Imp here, but will they be able to res it back up the Roadhog? It does look like they might be, but it's gonna be Diz going around the corner. Just gets taken out by a headshot. They didn't even need that amplification matrix. Right now, it's just going to be another retreat coming out here for the side Nebula Corvus. But they still have 3 minutes. And, wow. Okay, Ninja went a little bit too deep there, but it didn't really matter, did it?
Yeah, no, because you're still looking at Pikachu as a baby D.Va. So, either Pikachu's going to have to earn that mech back up or jump off the cliff once again. And Ninja's already respawned because it's Defender's advantage, as always, on point B of 2 CP maps. And I don't know, it's just very interesting how convincing point A was for the side of Nebula, and now here on point B, they just feel like they're getting staggered out, even when Connection Loss is making punishable mistakes.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, sometimes if the enemy team makes punishable mistakes, you might be making even more mistakes. Right now, though, Connection Lost, they don't have that many ultimates in the bank, but they have some coming up. So there's a very small window in which they might be able to do something here on the side of Nebula Corvus. They're coming in through this high ground. Imp has the supercharge already. Pikachu with the self-destructive maybe be coming up big, but almost gets the mech. Not quite entirely, though, but Imp just gets melted from Anxiety and from Ninja and from Pandakai. It's just impossible to get in for them. And they might just want to try a different plan here. Not go through the high ground every single time.
Yeah, if you know the Orisa and the Roadhog is set up there, especially with a Mei, well, you do have Sind. Ooh, late pick like that. But if you do have Sind who's using his wall every time just to get you through there, and you're still getting zoned out that hard, maybe you could try walling across that left side. It's a very hard strategy, but it's possible. You go through the main door, gives you a little bit more open room to work with. But now you're looking at 1 minute, 30 seconds left on the clock. You got to go for something.
They're probably gonna go for something. Diz going over to that Widowmaker as well. Knows they're always on the high ground. Almost gets Yubi Pro, but not quite hitting the head there. So they're gonna have to watch those extra angles. They're gonna have to watch those flanks. They're not just coming from one direction anymore, and that's maybe something that could help in their favor. Nice positioning from Diz, and now they're gonna go once again through the high ground. The Immortality Field's already out and down, so that means there's a good potential to finally do some damage. Both Blizzards are out, but Nyquist get eaten. Pikachu finally showing up with that Matrix. Anxiety, yes, behind the shield, but still frozen. Able to walk up to that Orisa, but not kill Orisa, because Yubi Pro is doing so much healing. Ninja in the thick of things will not get any picks this time, but Nyquist and Anxiety will happily provide with that one. And it's just a brawl on the point, but you know how it goes. The defenders have the advantage, and Ninja just gets rezzed up in the middle of the enemy team. This looks like another hole is gonna come out here, but a sided connection lost, and so close from Corvus to get something happen, but it just takes them a little bit too long.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really a whole lot you can do in fights like that, but now you're looking at 30 seconds. You have to look on, as we still have Pikachu stuck on the point. This is about to be brutal. A stagger like this means you're fighting a 5v6 last fight, and it's not looking good unless Diz can get some amazing picks here.
Possible. It's definitely not out of the realm of possibilities. We see things like this happen all the time in Overwatch. That's why the game's so beautiful, right? You have all these potentials, but they have no ultimates to work with. Maybe Diz can get a can get an input side up, but that's not really an ultimate that's going to help you a lot. Just jumps down with the dragon, actually gets some damage out with that as well, and the enemy team just scrambling for heals. They do get Ninja straight away though. It's a beautiful pick. I don't think it will get rezzed up this time though. So Ninja actually out for this fight. That's a lot of damage missing. They do get this on the other side, and Saber also falling, and they just don't have the damage. They just don't have anything to properly follow up on the disables they're getting. The freezes are coming out, the walls are coming out. Yes, Nyquist will fall, but they have the respawns. They need to get more value out of follow up on this Blizzard. Nyquist is actually rezzed, gets another Blizzard out, and that's the entire enemy team engulfed in a globe of snow and ice. Pikachu, once again, the Baby Diva form will just get taken down. It looks like connection lost. Even with that sound barrier, is probably going to be able to just clean this one up and take another good defense here on point B. That being said, they showed some weakness here in this match.
I think connection loss showed that once they're up, maybe 2-0, maybe 1-0, that not only do they get cocky with their plays, but they also showed that they don't really adapt. Like, yes, they were able to hold that high ground really well, but once the side of Nebula Corvus decided to go through that main gate, just surprise them, go real quick, it threw them completely off guard, and there was almost a time where Nebula could have easily taken point B. But we're looking at a point A hold if Nebula wants to take this map, and it's a tough ask. That's just probably the best way to put it. It's going to be a tough ask for the side of Nebula.
It is. I mean, we've said it the entire time, is that connection loss is just, while they're showing all these problems that they might be having, they're just not showing as many problems as the other side. Kind of what we're looking at this time. It's not about who does it best. It's about who does the least things badly. Is that like a proper sentence?
Yeah,
I don't think we're gonna go there. You know what? We're gonna look at this.
Who makes the least mistakes?
Basically, yeah. I wanted to phrase it differently, but it didn't really come out right. Right now, though, they're gonna go with the Hanzo of the defense as well. But once again, so they're not using the Baptiste on the side of Nebula Corvus. Is there like a reason why they should or why they don't?
I think it just comes down to they're not using it maybe because they do switch to it now. But Saber, I don't know. Can Saber be as clutch as UB Pro has been being with the Immortality Field? Immortality Field, it's like a Transcendence or it's like a Beat Drop. It pretty much can keep anybody alive, but you have to know when to use it. And if you mess up your timing on it once, that's a hefty cooldown. So it's going to be interesting to see if Saber can do what UB Pro has been.
Yeah, already the first kill coming out from Sin here on Ninja, and that's the one they wanted to kill consistently, so that's really good. Nyquist is on the far right again, can work very well on this map, but can they get the far out of the sky as easily as last time? Doesn't look quite just yet, but they do get a lot of damage on Nyquist. Is being a little bit careful. The hook is out through the shield somehow. I don't know how that one works, but Imp is out of the fight for now, and they don't run the Mercy, so they cannot res it back up. And right now, they just have to be careful. They have to get some picks here. And with Pikachu going down, I think this point, it's not lost just yet, but it's not really going to go well for them, I think.
Yeah, you might have a last contest from the side of Nebula if you want to run in because of the new 2 CP rules. You'll have a chance to contest, but with this going down like that, I think this is the end of point A here for Nebula.
Yeah, they'll get it there, and that means this map can only end in a draw, which then also means that the series is basically already won here for Zeta Connection Lost. But we can still see that draw. We can still see that last map win for on map 4, so it could still be an interesting series after this. Sin has the Blizzard ready. Will they throw it out here? It does look like they're posing to maybe do so, but it's not coming out just yet. Dis try to get the kill with Ninja once again, just throwing spoiler, not giving them any room to work with. Saber just dies here to the side of Nyquist, and it looks like a very quick point B as well. Only 33% necessary, and that 33% is ticking up awfully quickly. Connection lost 3-0 in the series, so they get the series win, but we still have a map 4.
Still have a map 4. Nebula can still play spoilers in that map differential because maps always do matter at the end of the day. Playoffs can come down to just that one map, but I don't know. It's very convincing from the side of Connection Loss. I think their strategy has just been, if we're attacking you from 5 different angles, you won't know where to look, and it's paying off for them thus far.
Yeah, I mean they've been winning the series, so if that's not paying off, then I don't know what is. But yeah, going to the last map, Escort. We've seen a lot of static maps right now, where we haven't really seen a lot of mobility coming out. We haven't seen the King's Row payload being unlocked. We haven't really seen anything. So, just from there being a payload, do you think it will change anything?
I think it will depend on the compositions played. I think if Nebula Corvus has been working on, like, if this is their version, they want to try to run the May Reaper, the Orisa Hog, then I don't know if that's exactly what they should be doing, or if they're just trying to mirror right now, then they really should just try something else, because it's clear that, unfortunately, in this match specifically, they're getting outplayed. But payload maps, I feel like you can do a lot of different things on. You can have the high mobility characters each go off, do their own thing almost. Plus, once we start next week with Sigma, I feel like Sigma is going to be very niche on payload maps just because of the mobility that he presents with his shield and things like that.
I mean, right now, though, we're going to go to Dorado, the land of, I mean, Widowmaker can still be played there, but I feel like both teams are picking Hanzo over Widowmaker, so let's go a little bit into that one. Yeah, Ninja versus Diz, obviously, most of the time, but that Hanzo is just doing so much.
Ninja is absolutely insane. Unless something drastically changes here in the 4th map, definitely has my player of the match. Because, I mean, you've seen it in the kill feed, you've seen it in the Dragon Charge times. It, like, absolutely insane play from Ninja. You know, his team could be down 2 in a fight, and he's like, oh, sorry, let me just drop a Dragon real quick. Get us back up to even, at least. Use the Dragon as a smokescreen to let Rezes get off. It's just... it's insane what one player can do these days.
I would have thought you would have gone with Echo, because there have been so many reses that, yes, the team helps out the Mercy, but that Mercy basically allows them to make all these mistakes, right? Because every single time someone overextends or dies, they somehow get the res off, or they get a res off somewhere else in a fight, and that basically turns it around because they always get that pivotal player. It's either a May that has a Blizzard, or it's an Orisa that can just put down a shield, or it's a Roadhog that just gets 3 kills straight away, or it's just the Hanzo that just keeps on going. So I would say Echo also plays a pretty big role in that regard.
Oh, definitely. You know, obviously, we still have a whole nother map to decide a player of the match, thankfully, because I do want to see more from both of these teams. I want to see if Nebula can try to play their own style, play this aggression that we've seen. When they've played aggressive, it works so well for them. It's just a matter of keeping that aggression with them and not getting essentially picked off one by one, whether it be the Halt Hooks, whether it be Ninja with a damage boost, or, I mean, also on the side of Connection Loss, you have to keep in mind they've been running the Baptiste a lot, which does give them another damage output just because of Baptiste. He doesn't do a lot of damage, but he does do some damage that can throw you off.
That's quite a decent amount of damage as well. It's not just, oh, he shoots a bit. If you hit the right headshots, it does quite a bit of damage. Not quite Zen output, but it's hit scan, so you can be more accurate with it, and you can also heal at the same time, and he does a lot of healing, and he has the immortality field. He's a really good support, and definitely someone to pick up if you're looking to play a little bit on the support now that you have your selected role lock. Looking at the defense, it's not going to be Echo on the Mercy anymore. Actually going to be on the Zenyatta, so that could potentially open up some windows.
It can open up some windows. These mistakes can now be punished and stay punished. No resurrections. 1 life each unless you want to go all the way back to that spawn room. But now you're entering more damage for the side of connection lost. And I mean, with the damage output they've had so far, they're killing things. But Pharmacy might end their day.
It looks like a very much more this is what we want to play rather than we're going to try and play what you play and play it better. So that's really interesting. Having Diz on the Widowmaker, Saint on the Pharah, Bomb Block even on the Ana, Saber on the Mercy. This looks much more like we're just going to go on our comfort heroes. And it's map 4. Why not? I mean, yes, you have the map differential to play for. Definitely a thing. And right now, they're just pushing them back. They're being very aggressive. And this is what we like to see. We like to see them just say, you know what? Fall back to that choke point. Go wherever you need to go. But they get the halt onto Diz. They follow up on the kill on that one as well. Pandakai not even phased out by that one. It's just going to be a kill in the Widowmaker. Not the most impactful member to lose, but still one you'd like back. Pikachu will fall late. I think they're just going to go back to spawn and reset this a little bit because that's really the one you needed.
Yeah, just Sind was able to kill Echo in that fight, so maybe if you regroup fast enough, if you're the side of Nebula Corvus, you can get in before Echo is back, but it's not looking likely. But hey, you've got some ultimates coming online. You have a Nano Boost, a Barrage, a Valkyrie potentially if you can extend the fight just a little bit. But you're playing into a Dragon from Ninja, and as we've seen so far, that's a devastating force.
It can be, especially in that choke going below, but they do have a little bit more of an off-angle composition. They don't really have to fight in their face, rather around their face. This guy does get out-sniped by Nyquist, though. Sometimes those icicles are just a little bit too harsh on you. Nyquist going on the flank now. This does get res back up, but oh, Sin. Because of that res, there was no healing onto the Pharah. Will go down straight away, and there's no res now for the Pharah because there was no healing. Imp will fall as well. Pikachu in a duel with Pandakai here, and Pandakai does seem to be losing it, but has already got the self-destruct, flies back to the team. They're just in spawn right now. This is what they're doing.
I mean, you gotta sit there. You have to force the reset because the amount of damage that's coming out from the side of Connection Lost, you can't peek even for a second or they'll kill you. And now Connection Lost 6 ultimates online. It's hard to see a world where they lose because we're already coming down to almost 90 seconds left on the clock.
90 seconds on the clock, and this is definitely a team that looks under the pump here. A lot of ultimates are online. The Dragon comes out. Not really anyone that can be caught by it. Maybe he thought they were a little bit further forward. And now it's going to be up to Imp and Pikachu to try and break the front line while their DPS are trying to do damage from the flank. They're going for the multi-angle approach. This is also there. It has a hard time finding angles here. Nyquist, nice wall, nice blizzard. The barrage comes in from the back, but it's just Pandakai with the right click. And there's not even going to be any reses out coming out from Saber. Bomb Block is also down. Looks like this is going to be a very, very unsuccessful attack here. And that's not what you wanted, especially from that barrage.
But look at that. You used 2 ultimates. You're already halfway back up to 1. You have 4 online. And the side of Nebula, potentially Pikachu could come up with a big bomb. You could do some superchargers, shenanigans, as Diz switches over to the Hanzo, which could help out more in terms of just general damage output.
That could. It's possible. Might be a little bit late though, because they only have 30 seconds. Saber just gets taken out by Nyquist. Pandakai following up on the Sin. This is not looking like a good last push. They still can get another one, but it's just I just don't see how they can get back into this. It's actually looking so insane right now. Just not getting out alive ever.
Connection Lost. I mean, you see here they switched it up. They have Echo on the Zen, and now they have Pandakai instead of on Roadhog on Eva, just to show you, oh hey, anybody who's facing us going forward.
They just get the self-destruct out of Saber. Diz and Imp already down. Overtime, yes, it's in progress, but it will just take down so quickly. Synth gets a constellation kill in the Echo, but that's all they're gonna get. They're gonna get 59.53 meters on the clock, and that's not a lot of distance for the payload.
Just under bridge, and then Connection Lost will have a 4-0. Now it is holdable. We've seen even first corner holds here on Dorado with some Symmetra shenanigans. I mean, it's possible, and we always try to be optimistic here as casters, but right now, Connection Lost really they're just being allowed to play the game in the way they want to play it, and there's no punishment for what they do.
Yeah.
And it's nothing against Corvus, obviously. Like they're doing a very good job of trying to find other answers, trying to find other ways. Taking out the picking out the Pharah, getting out the Widowmaker. They gotta try something at some point. They apparently running the mirror is not working for them, so they gotta try something else. Whether that's working out for them or not, I mean, the score says no. But on the other hand, they might be learning something from this match that they could apply in the future. And if the meta's going to shift again and they apply it properly, who knows what team they could be.
Oh yeah, and plus this is a team that's already won a match, so 1-1 after this series, so you're not feeling too terrible about yourself just yet. There's always room for improvement, and to go against good teams like this early on, you learn a whole lot, like you were saying. Just connection lost. While they have been looking very dominant, they've also been looking mortal, I guess would be the word, because they do make mistakes. Sure, they're not being punished exactly in the best ways, but mistakes that you can learn how to punish and over-aggress and just absolutely turn a match on its head.
And they're gonna go now for the attack of their own, of course. Nyquist already down to Diz, now using the defensive Widowmaker, and that's a very nice look. They're not holding that far forward, just on the high ground, but you can still hold teams for quite a long time just in their spawn. 4 minutes is a tough ask, but they're looking to do it. Sind is being a little bit careful because they know there's a Widowmaker on the other side of Ninja, but they're able to get out. They'll get on the other side. Von Block, not so lucky, will just get taken out, hooked in. Nyquist gets the kill onto Diz while they're being shot out of the air. And the res is there from Echo, but also from Saber. So no harm done. No really a loss there. Both teams trading out the reses. The shield battle is on, and the shield battle looks to be won here by Connection Lost. Imp already down, Pikachu following, and that is going to be the map. This series, Connection Lost, 4-0 and done.
4-0 and done. I mean, it's just been the story of the series so far. Huge hold hook combinations. Ninja, as you see with this final play of the game, just pick after pick, whether it be through his own volition or maybe a lot of assisting from his teammates. You never really can tell sometimes unless you're looking at his perspective. But it was a good match. You learned some things.
It was still a fun match. Yeah, we learned some things. We laughed a little, learned a little. At the end of the day, we all felt something.
We all felt something, and none of us had to feel the arrows going through our heads. So you know what?
No.
Thank you, Ninja, for not killing us.
Yeah, I mean, are you gonna stick with that prediction of like that call for like Ninja calling Ninja player of the match?
I'm actually not going to. I'm actually gonna change my call, and I'm gonna have to give it to the tank line, Anxiety and Pandakai, because I saw a lot more halt hooks than I did. Like Ninja was in the kill feed, yes, but a lot of assists were going to him, and the halt hooks energy. Even when they switched over to the Diva, Pandakai was just showing up huge, not only with the bombs, but just where he needed to be at the right times. Just truly good tank line. I think that's the best way to put it.
Well, I mean, if that's the best way to put it, then definitely put it that way. For now, though, I'm gonna agree with you, but I'm also gonna still give a little bit of get a bit of that love to UB Pro and Echo. I think their support line did such a good job keeping everyone alive that they were the ones that were fixing the mistakes, if that makes sense. So Echo with all the reses, you had the immortality fields, all the healing coming out. And even though there were a lot of overextensions, a lot of plays that didn't go quite as planned because they're maybe a little overzealous, if you have that support duo behind you, you can make those mistakes. I think that's really why Echo and UB Pro like together, just like you pick the tank line, I pick the support line of Connection Lost.
Yeah, definitely. Like you were saying, I mean, reses, immortality fields, just coming up clutch, keeping the team alive. And it helps them get the 4-0 today, moving up 2-0 in the overall league.
Yeah, and that's nice. You get a good early start to your season. But of course, we've seen a lot of teams in a lot of different leagues and competitions that don't get the best of starts and then just pull everything back. So definitely don't give up if you're Nebula Corvus. We have a long season ahead of us, and they can still clutch everything back. For now, though, it's going to be it for us tonight. Once again, I've been the wonderful man of class. Well, I mean, I find myself pretty wonderful. I don't know how you guys feel, but I've been with a much more wonderful Mega Lad. We've been having a blast casting this game. I hope you have had a blast watching this game and playing the game of Overwatch in general. If you want to see more of this, definitely hit the follow buttons, hit the like buttons. Empty your pockets for for the smallest of change to support the channel, and we'll be back with you, well, in the next one. I think we have another one tomorrow, so have fun with that.